It's not just changes in technology that have caused the great growth in income inequality, it's also political effects, particularly when Reagan and subsequent Republican presidents came in, inequality shot up dramatically. If you look at union recognition elections, they go along like that. They start falling at Carter. And then Reagan doesn't like unions much. They go like that. And then they oscillate. When Reagan came in, he changed the regulation board and did some other things about unions. Also broke the air controller strike almost immediately. And the result was that unions' ability to organize new shops was heavily undercut. Unions raised workers' wages by 15–20%, and even non-unionized workers benefit from nearby unionization. And the reason for that is that firms that are not unionized will raise worker pay to forestall unionization. So the demise of unions, which was, we think and show, heavily influenced by political issues, has a strong effect on the fact that inequality grew. Because workers' wages, people at the median and below, their incomes have stayed almost constant in real terms, corrected for inflation. They've grown a little bit, but not much, whereas incomes at the top have shot up dramatically. The best way to explain Trump's rise is the rise of, or the growth in populism. Populism means folks who are sometimes, not so much lately, but sometimes hostile to the rich, but they're also hostile, populists are often hostile to people not so rich, who they view as competing for their jobs. So the original waves of populism in the late 19th century, the 1800s, they were sort of hostile to manufacturers, monopolies, and things like that. They didn't like Catholics and Jews much either. A lot of the populists became, particularly in the South, became members of the Klan, or organized the Klan. Lately, it's been pretty much the same on that line, although Trump's gotten his major action out of, I guess, Hispanics, Mexican Americans. That has proved particularly popular and won a lot of elections for him, a lot of primaries. It's interesting, however, that net Hispanic migration or Mexican migration into the country has been almost flat during this period. Yet the blue-collar and middle-class supporters of Trump seem to be very resentful of Mexican Americans and think that the Mexican American population has been growing precipitously because of illicit immigration.